So what exactly is mastery of self-movement? Or if you will, instinctual or subconscious movement? Pertaining to Dragon Ball, this has a lot to do with reaction time, speed, fighting ability, and instincts. This has been mentioned in the Dragon Ball Super manga, but it was mainly foreshadowed or brought up in Vegeta and Goku's training with Whis back in the Resurrection F saga, in which Whis basically explains to Goku and Vegeta that they are lacking in speed because they are thinking too much before moving. And of course he says this is especially true of Vegeta, and Vegeta has a funny retort saying that that's because Goku is brainless. And Whis goes on to explain that Beerus hasn't even mastered this, and goes on to say that it is so important because it takes time from your thoughts going from your brain to your muscles, so it's vital, especially in high-speed battles, to be able to react instinctively for your muscles to kind of move on their own. So mastery of self-movement would be mastery of this, mastery over your muscles thinking for themselves without your brain and your thoughts getting in the way. And this is also true in real-world martial arts. When you say that a martial artist is a master, I'm not an expert in martial arts or anything, but as I see it, it is mastery of certain martial arts forms. So while you're in the middle of a sparring match or a fight or whatnot, you are reacting instinctively and using those martial arts forms and movements instinctively instead of thinking, oh, I need to put my arm up like this to fit this certain movement or martial arts form or technique. Your body just does it on its own, and that saves a lot of time, especially in terms of being in the middle of a fight, because every instant is vitally important. Especially in Dragon Ball Standard, when these characters are fighting basically beyond the speed of light at this point. And we did also see one instance of this when Goku fought Beerus for the very first time on King Kai's planet when Beerus first visited. As a Super Saiyan 3, Goku was charging at Beerus, but his body automatically stopped himself and jumped back because it sensed that Beerus was going to attack, and Beerus even said, I was gonna attack, and if you didn't dodge, I would have killed you. So, and that was an interesting point, because at that point he couldn't sense God Ki, so very interesting that his body is able to kind of just react instinctively to other people's, like, energies, or maybe their, like, muscle movements or something like that. So it doesn't seem entirely that the subconscious movement stuff is tied directly to power, although you need to kind of put them together if you're going to fight more powerful opponents, such as Goku fighting Jiren. Of course, Jiren seems to be much more capable at this self-movement stuff than Goku, at least at the beginning of the tournament, when he was basically letting his body instinctually move out of the way of the blocks that the Gods of Destruction were using to repair the stage. So that's obviously a huge benefit that Jiren has over probably everybody else on that tournament, especially since Beerus himself, a God of Destruction, hasn't even mastered this thing yet. So in terms of Goku's new form, if this is going to tie into it, I don't know why he would necessarily need an entirely new form to be able to pull this off. It seems like he should be able to just do it in his base form or whatever Super Saiyan form he has, and just have that basic skill as like a martial arts experience kind of thing, as opposed to just a power thing, to help with his reaction time and his speed in general, which would be a huge advantage to any battle that he ever goes into. And of course it makes sense that Goku would be the one to get this first, since it was vaguely foreshadowed in that 5th episode, and also foreshadowed in the Whis training stuff, saying that Goku's a little bit better at not thinking because he's brainless, and that is basically Goku's specialty. So whether or not it does tie into the new form, it is a huge advantage to any battle for anybody, in basically letting your muscles think for yourself instead of your brain. And even that way, you can use your brain to concentrate on concentrating ki. Your muscles react to an opponent's movement automatically so that your brain can do more concentration on concentrating more ki, and who knows, possibly even make the god forms much stronger. More details will obviously come out as the series progresses, and more details about this mastery of self movement or instinctual movement. So it's pretty interesting stuff. Let me know what you think in the comments below of the new form and of this mastery of self movement stuff. Hopefully it makes more sense than it did before in bringing some real world elements in there and also some foreshadowing from way earlier on in the series. So thank you very much for watching the video. As always, take it easy.